Hello again, and welcome to another scary story. The following is a very true experience. I've never actually wrote this down before, and I don't know if anyone has experienced this as well. This happened between 1989 and 1990. Back then, I was about 4 years of age. To this day, I still get chills thinking about it, and I wonder if in some way unknown, it changed me. This is a true story called White Glowing Eyes. My parents had a house in the Inland Empire of Southern California, and at the time my brother hadn't been born yet, so I was still the only child. To give you a layout, my parents' house was a 2-story house located in a cul-de-sac. On the bottom floor there was 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, the living room, and the kitchen. The second floor was just the master bedroom and bath. All you could see from the street was the garage and one of the bedroom windows on the bottom floor and the window of my mom's bathroom on the second floor. To get to the front door, you had to walk along the cement pathway that ran along the side of the house. You had to pass the first bedroom that you can see from the street. Then you passed the bathroom window and then another bedroom window, and then you would be at the front door. The backyard was beyond that point. My bedroom at the time was the bedroom next to the front door. Now, for some reason, my blinds weren't completely down to the bottom of the window. There was about a 6-inch gap with nothing covering it. I was pretty young, so I didn't care much about it then. The bed was in the middle of the wall across from my bedroom door, and to the left was the window. According to my mom, this all happened right before midnight. My mother was sleeping in her room upstairs, and my dad was a policeman that worked nights in another city. I was fast asleep in my room, and out of nowhere, I suddenly awoke, looking up at the ceiling. I don't know what woke me up, or if I just popped awake on my own. After my eyes adjusted to the night's light of my bedroom, I sat up and started looking around my room. All of a sudden, something caught my eye at the window, in the gap. First, I thought it was the street light reflecting on the window, but I knew for a fact that there was only one street light, and what I was looking at was 2 obvious glowing spots that were spaced apart, as if on someone's face. Then I thought, is that a cat looking at me? And yes, I vividly remember thinking these things, trying to debunk this at 4 years old. Then I remembered that my cat's Chelsea's eyes would reflect at night, but this looked different than that. The cat's eyes would almost have different colors when reflecting. These were 2 very solid bright white glowing eyes looking straight at me. I just stared at them, frozen stiff, trying to make sense of what I'm seeing. I couldn't see a face at all. The eyes were just so bright, nothing else stood out. That void, or face, around the eyes looked blacker than the night. I thought again, well, if this is a cat, how could a cat be big like a person? And why would a cat stand up to stare in my bedroom? The curiosity got me, and I went for it. I flipped my covers off, turned my little 4-year-old body towards the window, and put my feet on the floor. This is the moment the creepiest thing happened, and it will forever be burned into my brain. I got off the bed and got on my knees to get closer to look at this so-called cat, when at this very moment the faceless pair of glowing white eyes began slowly and steadily tilt to the side, very similar to Michael Myers in Halloween. Eyes still locked on me, not blinking once. The feeling of dread and fear shot through my body. Completely terrified, I burst into tears immediately and booked it down the hallway, through the living room, and up the stairs to tell my mom. Although I was going as fast as I could, it felt like it took forever. When I got to my mom, I was so upset I couldn't get any words out. Tears were streaming down my face, and my mom was becoming seriously concerned at this point. She was able to calm me down just enough for me to get the words out. There's white eyes looking at me through my window on the bottom. Stutter, crying hard. Are you sure? My mom asked. I cry out, yes. She didn't even go down to look. She just called the police. I don't remember the time it took for them to arrive or what they said, because I finally fell asleep in my mom's bed. I do remember faintly waking up to a knock on the door and my mom going to open it. The cop speaks to her and I hear her say, "Okay, thank you, good night," and she shuts the door. "Did they find it, mommy?" I asked, half asleep. "No, honey, he said they couldn't find anyone." My mom told me softly, "It's okay now, just try to go back to sleep." It's safe to say that the next day, my whole window was covered. Fast forward a few years and I'm in middle school now. Every now and then I would think about that night, sometimes wondering if that moment was real, if those eyes were really there, those unforgettable white eyes. One day, a random thought came up and I asked my mom if she remembered that night. She tells me, "Yeah, of course. Why?" "I don't know, just wondering, I guess," I said. Then my mom proceeds to say, "Well, I never told you this, but when the deputy came out that night, he told me that they had made it a priority to get to our house as soon as they could, because not very long after, before I called 911, they received another call from someone else reporting that someone was looking in their window as well, in our same neighborhood." Hearing that sent chills down my spine, and to this day, I wonder who or what was looking at me that night. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel to support me and keep me creating more content.